What is up, Tampa Bay? Good evening and welcome to Tampa Talk Live. What is up, Marsha Railton? Good evening.
It's been a great week so far. Excited about the long weekend coming next weekend for everyone to have some fun. The weather's been awesome, so hopefully we get to do some boating, and there's festivals and all kinds of things going on, so it'll be fun.
That's all. Yeah, there's a lot going on around the Bay. We'll get into some of that stuff. And the weather was incredible today.
Yeah.
We had a warm weekend, y'all. We shared it with you. Welcome to Tampa Talk Live. If you've never been with us before, we make videos that are all things Tampa Bay, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it's like to play here, the food, the dining, the outdoors, the beaches, and the sunshine. They're joining us from all over, Marsha. We got them on Instagram.
Awesome.
We got them on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, of course, because that's our primary source. But they're on all channels. So wherever you're watching from, y'all, we invite you to connect with us live here. We love connecting with our audience. We do this for you. We bring the questions that you ask. We do a live Q&A format. We'll bring some, local flair, talk about things that are happening in our marketplace, talk about restaurants. I have a new restaurant to share with you guys today that I tried, especially for this audience, because I've been asked quite frequently about the best burgers in town. So I added another one today. I'll share that with you guys because I love sharing those with the community here. But if this is your first time joining us, we welcome y'all. Let us know where you're watching from. If you have questions, don't hesitate to bring those. Tonight, we're going to be talking a lot about Sarasota and Bradenton this evening, along with Tampa. For those of you who aren't familiar, Tampa Bay is huge. Technically, Sarasota is its own thing, but the irony of all of that is areas like Wesley Chapel, Odessa, and San Antonio, which Tampa claim are actually farther away than Sarasota. So, to me, being, someone who's not from here and territorial about it, the greater Tampa Bay area also includes there. Now, just sharing that with y'all, because we're going to talk a little bit of those insights. We are going to talk about Pasco County, Hillsborough County, and of course the beaches, y'all. We're going to get into all those things tonight. So happy to make those connections with you. Marsha's got some really cool stuff to share. And then we're going to talk some real estate, of course, because that's what we do here. So if we'd never met before, my name is Juan Alcala. I am a licensed real estate agent and the team leader here with the True Living Group. And I'm joined by my amazing hostess with the mostest, Miss Marsha Railton out of Sarasota and Bradenton. What is up, Marsha?
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy to be here. We're ready for the questions.
Yeah, we are ready. And then Stacy is spending some time with family this evening, so we gave her a night off. She has worked her behind off, so we're glad to be able to do that. She's spending some time with her mom, so it's always awesome when you're able to sneak away and make that happen. So, guys, some pretty interesting stuff happening. Let's check out who is with us live right now. Mr. Adam, what's up, my brother? He says, I can't wait. Well, we're happy that you're excited. Hello. I will be there this weekend. Yeah, we have a lot of people coming into town this weekend. So Marsha said, holidays coming up, and there's a bunch of stuff to do in the Bay. We got concerts galore happening. You guys, if you're not on our email list, get on our email list. You can go to our website. I'll put that down below. Just go to the website. You can sign up there. And then we love to, every Wednesday, I send out what's happening in Tampa Bay. And we share out really cool events. I may be biased to some of them since I'm picking them, just so you know. But we love to share events of what's happening in our area. There's some great concerts going on this weekend. Chris Stapleton was in town last weekend. We looked up ticket prices, and I was like, holy wow. That's not for me as much as I'd like to do that. But, I was shocked, Marsha. I'm not going to lie. It's been a while since I've been to a concert, honestly. It's been 3 years. I mean, right after things opened back up, I went up north and went to a concert at an outdoor venue, but it wasn't like one of the hottest names in music. And I was like, holy cow, those are big prices, y'all.
And it's shocking if you think back, like in high school, I went to rock concerts and I wasn't paying hundreds of dollars. I don't remember how much they were, but they were affordable for a high school person or college person. Now, I don't think a normal person can afford to go.
Yeah. Everything is expensive. We did a little more of the cost of living stuff today. Kate, I got my wife to get on camera again, y'all. Just a heads up. So if you've seen our video that we did together, I got her to get on camera again today, which was exciting. And we talked a lot about this, right? Like, because it's a question that we take. I mean, Marcia, you're on these calls with, we have Zoom calls with clients from all over the country and outside of the country who are considering relocating the area, and cost of living comes up almost every single call. And it's such a fair question, and it's hard to wrap your hands around that sometimes, right? And where you live, certain things are going to cost more than they cost here, and other things are going to be less expensive. That's just the way that life works, right? But we were really getting deep into this because we've seen some hardship recently from people in our lives, and it really puts things in perspective for you, right? Like how blessed you are about certain things. And so we were talking about that today, and it was just a reminder that first of all, I'm grateful for the opportunities we've been given, but it can be a challenge out there, and we're not oblivious to that, y'all. And we live in an area that it's paradise. We say that all the time. We believe that. But the thing we do know is it's not. Unfortunately, it can't be for everyone, right? So that comes with the challenge on the other side, but we're grateful for the opportunities that we're given, and we're grateful to be connected with you guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in this evening. Love to connect with you guys. Love Tampa, but the crime, drugs, and homeless is getting ridiculous. These comments these are always interesting for me. We get these a lot on the YouTube channel, and the cool thing is I get to pick through comments here, guys. Like very rarely do I ever filter anything unless it's just profane. But in my experience, this comment is like out in left field. And maybe it's just me. I moved from Detroit. When people say the crime is bad here, I just want to laugh at them because it's nothing like it was back there. And I have never felt unsafe walking in downtown Tampa. I've never felt unsafe walking in downtown St. Pete in the surrounding areas. And it's been awesome. Now, do we have homeless people here? Yes. The sun shines 250 days a year and the weather's amazing. That's where people are going to live if they can. So that makes sense. But the ridiculous comment, I'm not on the same page with you, Jays. So appreciate you chiming in, brother. But we're not in the same ballpark, I don't think. Okay. Hey, everyone. I'll be flying down there with grandchildren this Thursday. What's up, Desiree? We're excited for you guys. Hopefully you're spending some time at the beach. The weather's been amazing, and looks like that path is going to continue. We have sunshine all week, and I think we're supposed to get into the 90s at the end of the week. Was that right, Marcia?
I thought I think we did reach it last weekend, and I think it is supposed to get up there again today. Though it was just perfect. I don't know what the temperature was exactly, but there was a nice breeze. It was wonderful.
It was perfect. I got up this morning. When I went out for my walk, I was expecting the humidity that we had over the weekend, and it was not there. And I was like, I ran like 3 minutes faster because I was lighter and rocking it out, man. I was excited to do that. And then I went and filmed in downtown St. Pete, and then through the neighborhoods down there. Marcia, never broke a sweat today. To your point, like the weather was great, man. The weather was great. So that was fantastic. I want to, Nando is over on Instagram. He says, hey there, back in New Jersey, but had a great visit down in your neck of the woods. We are hooked on Southern Tampa, my man. South Tampa's hard not to love. Glad you enjoyed it. And thanks for sharing the comment there, Nando. I appreciate that. Chris, my man, moving next week to our new house. I have to say your team is amazing. Thank you for your help with our new home. We are grateful that you are happy, my man. Excited for your arrival. I know that the girls worked hard through this process to get you guys home, and congratulations on that relocation, brother. We're happy for you. So happy to be able to share that victory with you, and thank you for the kind words.
Congratulations, Chris. I'm excited for you guys in your new home. I bet it's going to be awesome.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Marcia. Mr. Campbell says, hi, Juan. My wife and I are planning to relocate to the area. have a lot of questions. Well, you have come to the right space. Because as you see, we'll tackle it all, man. Like, like I said, I really don't filter anything unless it's just profane. We want people's voices to be heard and their opinions to be shared. And, again, every area is not perfect, but this area is amazing. And we are definitely advocates for it. I'm biased. I live here. Of course I am. I chose to live here. I don't have to live here. I choose to live here. Same thing with Marcia, right?
Yeah.
All right. How many times did you move before you settled where you are?
You mean before we moved to Florida?
Yeah, big moves. You moved quite a few times, right?
Yeah. Oh, I can't count, but
that many. That's my point, right? Like, yeah, you moved a lot.
I moved further south, from Michigan to North Carolina to Georgia, and now Florida.
Yep, absolutely. But that's, we get to, and we're grateful for it. So that's awesome. And feel free to connect, Brian. All of our contact information is down below. There's a link to my calendar in that description as well. So you can schedule a time to have a conversation and get your questions answered. Don't hesitate. That is for you guys. We leave that up for you. All right. Corey says, hi all. Corey tuning in from Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to C-Bus. Done even giving me the go blue again. Yeah, there we go. don't. I think he meant to say don't give me the go blue again. Juan, this is a family friendly stream. No bad language. Yeah, there's only one 4-letter word as far as I'm concerned. It starts with an O and ends with one also, just so you and I are on the same page. I'm kidding. Go blue, by the way. No, just poking fun. They beat us up for a long time. I'm old enough to remember when Ohio State didn't win anything for a decade. So, congratulations on your 10-year run. That is now over. So we're just back to normal in my life as far as I'm concerned. But shout out to you, Corey. Thanks for watching, my brother. Scott says, what's up in St. Pete last weekend? And I've got a conviction to move down there now. It's hard not to, man. I was in St. Pete all day today. I was at Vinoy Park. I was at the marina. I was in historic Northeast, which is my favorite neighborhood. It's my second favorite neighborhood in all of Tampa Bay. It's my favorite neighborhood in Pinellas County and in St. Pete. I love the historic Northeast. I love the homes. I love the character. I love the walkability to downtown. It is phenomenal. It's hard not to love that, isn't it, Marcia? It's just such a nice area, man. So nice. Adam says, congrats to Chris G. Yeah, absolutely, man. Happy for him too. Hi, Juan. I have my husband, Brian, joining tonight. What's up, Brian? Was that the Brian that already chimed in? Make sure. Yes, it is. Got both of them. We got Debbie and Brian. Shout out to you guys. Love that. All right. Corey says, excited to make the move in May of 2025. As soon as our youngest graduates, I'll be hitting you up come November to start the search. Awesome, my man. We're happy to help. Brian says, our daughter was randomly pepper sprayed in Detroit last month. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, that sounds about right. So that's why we're not there anymore, Brian. That's exactly why. Kind of nonsense like that.
I hope she's says, okay.
Yes. Can you elaborate on the violent situation that happened in Brandon at the skate park? Is that typical in the area, looking for neighborhoods with little to no crime rates? Marcia, are you aware of anything that went down in the skate park last week?
No.
Now you got me looking, buddy, because we didn't hear about it either. Skate park. And that's a really cool skate park. That's in our video that Marcia and I did. It's right on the river, right on the Manatee River.
Oh, she said in Brandon.
Oh, I thought it was in Bradenton. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
I haven't heard anything, but.
No, I'm looking it up to see if there's any news on it either. No news, man. I'll have to do some more homework on that. I'm just not familiar with it all. I'm looking at Google right now. There's no news on it, so I'm not sure what went down over there. Okay. Debbie Kim, does it cost more in homeowner insurance if you have a pool? Great question, Debbie. All right. Marcia, I wanted to bring this up today. So I often get comments in the YouTube channel about I'm lying about my homeowner's insurance cost, which people love to, again, comment section is always if you want to enjoy life and be frustrated at the same time, the comment section of any video is a great place to go because you will find all kinds in there, right? All kinds. So today I wanted to proof is in the pudding stuff today and share with you guys. So I brought my insurance package with me here so we could go through this. But that's a great question because honestly, it's the one thing that I don't know, Debbie. I didn't go through here line by line. They just give me a number and I pay it because I got to pay it, right? So that's a good question. So it talks about the year. It talks about the wind mitigation, the fire, all that other stuff. It mentions the property types. It doesn't say anything on here about a pool, but I can't imagine for 1 second that an insurance company is not going to take the opportunity to charge me more money because I have a pool, right? Because there's a risk factor for it.
I would say that too.
Right. But I don't see it on here. So that's interesting because it does call out all the specifics about the property, but it doesn't say that specifically. So
I'll make a note and check into that.
Yeah, it's a good question. We don't sell insurance, so we're not dialed into that. But I want to share this with you guys, okay? Because people ask all the time. Now, I do want to give perspective also. Last week, I shared on the live stream, we shared insurance quotes through the state, or I'm sorry, the average insurance prices through the state. And insurance on the east coast of Florida is significantly higher than on the west coast for some reason. At least where we live. It could be more expensive in the panhandle, but from what we're experiencing here, it is dramatically different. But I wanted to share this with you guys. So this is my property insurance. It was issued through Citizens last year. All right. Our policy is from 9/27/23 to 9/27/24. Okay. So I'll be renewing this year. My deductible is $2,500 a year. Don't know if that's a lot or a little. Marcia, do you guys happen to know what you guys' deductible is?
I don't know. I don't remember what it is.
The hurricane deductible is different. There is a difference there. This is something that I wanted to talk about, right? So we have an all other perils deductible, which would mean if like anything other than a hurricane happened to the house and I had to make a claim, that would be $2,500. If a hurricane comes and the house is damaged due to that, my premium is $8,600. And I had different options there. I remember that, but I chose that one. I don't remember why. Okay. The section where it talks about property coverages. So that's dwelling, other structures, personal property, and loss of use. They're insuring our dwelling at $430,000 as a replacement. Other structures at $8,600. I don't have any other structures on my property. But I now have questions. I have to ask my insurer.
I wonder if that's your pool.
It probably is. Now that you say that, the screen outside in the pool, I bet it is, Marcia. Which that is not a replacement cost of a pool. Just if for anyone listening to this right now who wants to know, definitely is more than that. That's probably the screen on the pool, Marcia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's what it is. The personal property, they got us at $110,000. Loss of use, $43,000. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I don't sell insurance, guys, so I'm just doing my best here. Personal liability and then other coverages. Our total here, so y'all can see it. Hopefully this little. Can you see that, Marcia? What's that say?
No, it's now I can. $2,542.
$2,542, people. Because everybody's like, you're full of it. Prove it. So there it is. Now, total policy premium, including assessments and all surcharges. The portion of your premium hurricane coverage is $1,595. So that's what this says here. $1,595 of my premium goes to hurricane coverage, which doesn't surprise me. I live less than 2 miles to the beach, and I want to do context for that. The non-hurricane coverage component of it is $885. So that's what it says on this side, on this section here. So again, I don't sell insurance. I don't know the ins and outs of insurance other than I have to have it. My mortgage requires it. And so do I, because I'm not living in anywhere and owning a home without having insurance on it. Now, you guys tuned in to like, Juan, what the heck? We're Tampa Talk Live and you're talking about insurance, bro. Like, what is happening around here? But we get asked this all the time. This is like one of people's number one questions. Now, guys, I want to give you context. I live less than 2 miles away from the Gulf of Mexico. That's how close to the water I am. Okay. Marcia lives right off of the Manatee River. but she's a little bit more inland from the Gulf Coast, but she's right by the Manatee River, right, Marcia?
Yeah.
And
I
then
think our insurance, I'm going by memory, but I think ours is like 3,000. But we're in a flood zone and you're not.
yep, and you have a lagoon in your backyard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have a boat lift in your community, all the things, right? They've got a marina in their community, all kinds of stuff. So like that is still really, really good. And we get messages on YouTube all the time, like people like, hey, give me your insurance person. And then I see where they live and they're like Melbourne. And Melbourne was one of those areas that was like the highest in the state of Florida. It's like $11,000 on average, which is crazy. And that has a lot more to do with like Hurricane Alley and those types of things. So just sharing this with you guys, because again, it's been asked a lot of me and I've been accused of not telling the truth there, which that doesn't really bother me as much, but I would like the people to see it. Right. So I'm sharing that with you guys. Happy to share it. Again, it's going to be different for every property. There are a lot of factors when it comes to insurance. I don't sell it. The thing that we always recommend with people is when they're buying a home, get your quote during your due diligence phase, during your inspection period, so you can have an understanding of what that property is going to cost to insure you. Can that go up next year? Absolutely. Is it probably going to go up next year? We're preparing for it.
Yeah.
Right. And we're just assuming it's going to happen. Okay. If it doesn't, that's awesome. Our auto insurance actually didn't increase last year when we were waiting for another beat down, right? And it didn't. It actually went down by $20, which was awesome. Still expensive in my mind, but you know, again, expenses relative to how much money you make. So these things are important for you guys to just kind of wrap your mind around. I wanted to share that with you. Again, my home is a 1977. Our roof is new. Our windows are not. We do have some new windows in the house, but most of our windows are original on this home. It's something we're in the process of getting ready to take care of here. So we don't have all the perfect stuff to make the house like perfect for insurance. And we still have a very fair insurance rate. So that's something I wanted to share that and communicate it to the audience so guys can just kind of wrap your mind around that, right? New construction properties, we are seeing better rates than that. But again, this is going to depend on the area. If you build a new home on the Gulf Coast, expect to pay through the roof. That's just the way that's going to go, even if you can get it insured. But most people who can build those things aren't concerned about the replacement cost of the property or the insurance that goes along with it. You know, that's just part of the cost of owning real estate there, and they're comfortable with it. So hope that helps, guys. And sorry to go down the rabbit hole of insurance talk, but it's such a question that gets asked quite frequently. So Debbie, thank you for asking that question. I really hope that helped. Okay. We're always open to help you guys with the information that we have in our hands. Okay. Paul says, hi Juan and gang. My question is, how much did the plumber charge for the largest plumbing repair that you have paid for? And what did the plumber repair? That's a good question. Marcia, you can ask this because you got a big estimate at one point for the property that you have up in Pinellas County.
Yeah. My daughter has a home close to where Juan lives, and it's older. It was built in the 60s, and she started having some plumbing issues. And so she called a company, and they came and said that the pipes are so old and starting to deteriorate from the inside. And so we need to get them recoated, is how they explained it. So when I was talking to the plumber, I was like, well, why wouldn't we just get new plumbing instead of doing that? And he said, well, you can, but then you have to pull up all the floors, which are concrete. So then, I understood what he meant. But we've been able to, they cleaned them out, and we're keeping an eye on it and holding off, but it's going to be like $14,000 to have all those pipes recoated from the inside. So that's something we're not looking forward to.
That's a big one. For us personally, it was $500. We're having a similar situation. Let me rephrase that. We have a giant laurel oak tree out in our front yard. It's huge. Our neighborhood has all of these beautiful old growth oak trees. There's one that is protected and one is not. We believe this one isn't. We had an arborist come out. We have to have the county verify it. but it is right in our front yard. It's about 60 feet tall, and our main line that goes from the house out to the city sewer runs right across that front yard. So that pipe has already had some infiltration from the root system of that tree. And we're looking at a pretty hefty chunk over there too, Marcia. It's more about the tree. We got to take the tree out. And if you guys have ever taken a 60-foot tree out of anything, those are expensive. So that'll be a big expense when the time comes. But right now it's still running. He told me we probably still have a few years to deal with that. And then we'll go from there. But that's the disadvantage of buying homes with beautiful I hate the idea of taking down that tree.
Yeah.
Our home faces west. It gives us so much shade in the evening. Reprieve. It's a mess, but this is it's like you want these beautiful trees, but they cause a lot of havoc on the properties. So,
well, I know cutting that tree down is going to be extremely expensive. Is there any way they could like reroute the piping?
No, because it's already at the neighbor's property line there.
Okay.
Yeah, the quote for the tree was actually not terrible. It was $3,800 to take the tree down, which is very reasonable. But the root system is so large that was going to be another $5,000 to take that out. Oh, and then once that comes out, that plumbing is going to have to be dealt with at that point too. So replacing some PVC once you get the ground dug up ain't that big of a deal.
No, but
getting to it, we knew the risk, when we bought the house. My wife doesn't have a problem exchanging that for a beach being 2 miles away from her house.
Yeah.
that was the sunshine tax in our world, right?
Yeah. Like, but it's so much more fun to spend the money on like a new lanai or, something pretty, not digging up roots.
Yes, on the old windows that we want to replace this year. So absolutely. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Timothy says, what are some safe areas around Tampa? Okay. Timothy, I'm going to do my best right now. So legally, because I have a real estate license, I can't tell you what areas are safe. It's considered steering. Let me explain why. If I tell you an area is safe or unsafe, technically, they say I'm steering. What I will do is I'll share this. Okay. There are only a few areas in the greater Tampa Bay area where I know that I don't belong, just like any other metro has. There are crime maps. The city of Tampa posts them. The FBI makes that available to every single United States citizen. But if you go to the city of Tampa and if you go to Google and type in city of Tampa crime map, it'll take you to that FBI database and it'll show you where the crime is. It will literally show you, it will tell you what kind of crime it is, right? Because is it petty? Is it kids vandalizing stuff? Or is it violent? It'll actually show you all of those things. And then what I always tell people to do is if you're considering moving here from another place, look at where you live and then compare where you're considering moving to. That'll give you perspective because most people believe they live in a bubble. And it turns out that's not true. There's always something happening somewhere around you that most of us aren't aware of, just like the skate park thing that was brought up today. So that usually gives people a better perspective on what situation they live in. So great question, man. That's how I would approach it. That's exactly how I approached it when we moved here. So hopefully that helps. I would, and just to follow up on that, I wouldn't live anywhere where I didn't consider safe. We moved away from Detroit, right? We lived in the western suburbs. It was safe there. It wasn't an issue for me, right? But I wouldn't move my family anywhere where I didn't think it was safe. I got 3 kids, man. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Brian says, my job search is leading me to Tampa or Sarasota. Debbie wants construction. We're trying to triangulate, big word, to be close to friends at Prosperity Lakes and Parish. So, okay. What communities would you recommend to the north and south of Parish with homes ranging from 400 to 7? Great question, Brian. You let Marcia right in.
Yeah, you're in my
Marcia, did you pay Brian the segue?
No, but it was a good one. Hey, Brian, I work a lot in Parish and Lakewood Ranch, and both areas are awesome. In Parish, we talked about it last week, actually. I highlighted some communities that I really like there. that would offer homes in the price range you're speaking of.
North River Ranch, brother. North River Ranch is a great
North
one.
River Ranch. The builders would be Neal Communities and Cardell Homes. Homes by West Bay is awesome, but it's a little bit above that price range. But I would start out with Cardell and Neal Communities and see what you like there. But North River Ranch, like Juan was saying, is a brand new community up there, and you may have seen it if you already visited your friends at Prosperity Lakes. It's a little bit closer to things than Prosperity Lakes is. And if you're going to be driving down to Sarasota, I think you'd want to be a little bit closer to I-75. And another option would be Lakewood Ranch, because it's even closer to Sarasota, and you can take I-75 up to Parrish to see your friends, or you can take back roads. So if you want to call me and ask any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Yeah, that's a great question. Great segue, Brian.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's beautiful down there. North River Ranch is an awesome community. Parrish is growing. It's really, really nice. It's definitely worth considering, Brian. So happy that you and Debbie are dialed in tonight asking great questions. We'll keep this rocking and rolling really quick, Marcia. Then we're going to jump over. Marcia's got some stuff happening around on Lakewood Ranch she wants to share with you guys tonight. So we'll get to that too. But you guys are right into the questions tonight, so we'll keep rocking with it. Lobo 07103, who I actually spoke to on the phone yesterday, which was awesome, Marcia. Yeah, he called, and I'm not going to use his name here because I didn't get permission, but he called and he's like, "Hey, this is Lobo." I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. What a great way to connect." It's these calls are fantastic. Yeah, we've been building relationships with you guys. Some of you guys have the greatest handles, Sassy but Classy, who I have not heard from yet tonight. So if you're watching this later, you're in trouble, just so you know. Kevin, we haven't seen Kevin tonight. We have so many great returning viewers. It's awesome. But he asked, aren't new builds good for cheaper insurance? In our experience, yes. Insurance is typically cheaper with new construction. On average, it's usually, from what we've seen, significantly less, as much as a third sometimes. So that's a big jump when it comes to insurance. Chris is sharing right now too. Chris says, I'm in under 60. Dude, you guys, I'm jealous. So Chris is building a home in Lithia, which is the eastern suburbs of Tampa. He's building a home out there. Great community. I'm not going to speak to his property specifically, but he's sharing. So $1,600 for his insurance. That is awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. So I know this is hard, right? The news, Marcia, every call we take, people are like, we heard that you can't get insurance. And there are absolutely properties that you can't get insured. I guarantee you, but that happens everywhere in the country. But there are, for sure, stuff on the coast, you know, you can run into those situations for sure. But these new construction developments, they couldn't sell those homes if they couldn't get them insured, y'all. So just kind of think about that, right? Hopefully that helps people kind of like put some peace of mind. Like, if you're going to move into these newer communities, you're going to be able to get insurance. Otherwise, the builder would have to shut down. Yeah. Right. They lose their behind. All right. One more question. Feel free, y'all. If you're just chiming in, welcome to Tampa Talk Live. We talk all things Tampa Bay. We're talking about home insurance this evening so far. We're talking about new construction. Marcia's going to talk about some things happening down at Lakewood Ranch, which I'm excited to share with you guys. Also, we'll talk a little bit about real estate values and what I see happening in the marketplace, because that's a question I quite often get. With the holiday coming up, I know we got people coming into town, and, you know, just feel free to bring the questions you have about the greater Tampa Bay area. Also, feel free to contribute. If you're watching this later, you know, leave us a comment, question down below. Happy to answer those. And if you go into the description on YouTube, you will find all of our contact information and that phone number that's on that screen right now. That goes directly to this phone, guys. So you have direct access to us if you need it. All right. Chris says, what do you say? Oh, sorry. Lobo says, are whole house generators common in the Bay? We are thinking security for storm outages. I think it's a great option. I wouldn't say they're common because they're not inexpensive. A whole home generator system, you know, these things cost in somewhere between $15,000 and $30,000, depending on the size of the house. But if you can have one, that's awesome. It is definitely on our wish list. You know, having a great Generac. generator so we can run the whole house in case of emergency. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's common. You know, Marcia, how many people do you know personally with a whole home generator? If you had to guess.
More than you would think. And it always surprises me because we've lived here 10 years and we've lived through 3 hurricanes here. And I don't think we've ever not had power for more than, I think the longest was 5 hours.
Wow.
And that was the first Ian. That was the worst one. And the other 2, we never lost power. So I don't know. I don't want to spend that much money on something that for 5 hours of electricity. But I guess other people, you know, maybe they experience longer times of not having electricity. Maybe they need it for, you know, something for health. So there's different reasons people get it, but I would not say it's common.
Okay. Understood. So I want to share this with y'all. We got Instagram comments. We can't pull those onto the stream. I'm sorry, guys. It just, the machine doesn't work that way. But Angela out in the Pacific Northwest says, your insurance is less than ours in the middle of nowhere in Eastern Washington. That's fascinating. So Chris has definitely got to be on the mix of that. G.E. Montello says, hi, guys. Joining from Plainfield, Illinois. Planning on visiting the area soon. Recommendations on area to stay for easy access to see as much as possible. Tampa, if you stay just west of the airport, there's a lot of hotels there, and that gets you basically within 35 minutes of everywhere. So that's my recommendation. You know, if you go further south of Sarasota, it's going to take you an hour or so, but the greater Tampa Bay area can be reached in about 45 minutes on a terrible traffic day if you're on the west side of the airport, just west. So hopefully that helps. Okay, that was the Instagram comments. And got 2 more, Marcia, and then we'll rock over.
I'm so glad you manned all those questions.
That's not easy. Sometimes they just they're a fury, and other times they're really quick. All right, Paul says, that's great info, guys. Thank you. Do you use a local plumber? Do you call a large plumbing company you might see on TV commercials? I have a local plumber. Marcia, who have you used?
We usually use Cool Today, who has like plumbing today and they have different, they're local. It's a large company, I believe, but it's local to the area.
Yeah. I haven't had any problem getting professional services, electricians, any of those services. They are in high demand, but we haven't had a problem getting them.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps a little bit. Hey, Denise, what is up? Good evening.
Hi, Denise.
Time is coming soon. I know she's excited. Vlad says, what's up, Vlad? Good to see you as well. God bless you guys. Hope everyone is well. We are well, my man. Thank you for the kind words. We appreciate that. Letitia says, can you share how much single family home values are increasing over the years in Tampa and Wesley? Over the years? Oh my goodness. Tampa property values are up 60% since COVID started. So, I mean, it's insane. But we are flattening out. We're going to talk about that. We're finally coming to stability in the real estate market here in the greater Tampa Bay area, which is a good thing for home buyers. It's going to make selling take a little bit longer, but it's finally back to a healthy position in inventory. So that's good for home buyers overall. So great question, by the way. Okay. Lauren says, do you recommend Largo for a single 26-year-old to move from Rhode Island? Is it safe? I live in Largo, Lauren. And hopefully my comments earlier today about I wouldn't live anywhere unsafe. Now, there are areas in this city specifically that I would not personally live in. That's my comment. There are the city of Largo hosts the Pinellas County home. I can't remember what it's called. Housing Authority. And right next to that building, there is a subsidized housing unit. And that, if you look up a crime map, I'm sure you're going to see a little bit more influence going on there. But overall, we live in Southwest Largo. It's a very desirable area. It's wonderful. Okay, right on the border of Seminole. Very, very close to the beach. So definitely worth checking out. Brian says suggestions. If you attend a church, ask for plumbers and other home. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the best place for recommendations, man. Like there's always at least 5 that work in the church, right? If you have a healthy sized congregation, and most importantly, they'll put you to good people. So I think that's great sentiment there. All right, Marcia, let's share what you have lined up for us. Let's get in that a little bit, and then we'll come back to your questions, guys. Okay, just so you know. So keep.
Yeah, it won't take real long, but we like to share about new construction and what the incentives they're offering are now, because a lot of our clients like new construction, and where I live, that's primarily what I work with or who I work with. I am in the city of Bradenton, but tonight I want to talk about 3 communities that are in Lakewood Ranch. And it is the #1 all-age community in the U.S. for the last 5 years. So when we say it's a great community, we're not the only ones that think so. Yeah. It's on 33,000 acres, and it's situated in both Manatee County and Sarasota County. And it's an amazing place to live. And the 3 communities that I'm going to talk about tonight are on the north side of Lakewood Ranch. All new communities. The first one is Star Farms, and the builder that I'd like to discuss is Homes by West Bay, one of my favorite builders. Juan and I both love one of their floor plans, and if we could move it to right where we're living at the moment, we'd probably both start building it tomorrow. But Homes by West Bay is offering, for quick move-ins, they're offering a 6% flex cash and as low as 5.99% interest rate. So those are homes in their inventory, homes that are, they built and they need to get them sold. So they always offer more incentives for that to get people to move into them. The great thing about it is it's ready to go, but those homes, everything's been chosen already. So there's no picking out your flooring or cabinets or anything, but their designers do an awesome job of picking things out. So most of the time, clients will find something that they really like.
Yep.
And then also Homes by West Bay, for to-be-built homes, they're offering $35,000 flex cash, which is great too, because you can use it to buy down your interest rate or use it in the design center. You can use it however you wish. Star Farms is a really cool community too. It's Homes by West Bay isn't the only builder in there. They have D.R. Horton. I'm trying to think of the other builders. They're
AR Homes. The Art and Rutherford homes are fantastic.
Yes.
We toured that one with the whiskey room. You remember that one, Martha? That's on the YouTube channel. If you guys want to check that out, it is a fully custom home. That thing was awesome, man.
Yeah, Lee Weatherington is in there. There we go. And John Cannon. So it's a mixture of builders and types of homes. And they also have townhomes, villas, and single family. And their amenities are incredible. Let me see. I think I have them right here. They have like pickleball. Yeah, this is one of their 3 amenity centers. And that building to the right is for like sports training. They have weights in there, and they have all different types of sport, like team sport training. Yeah. And then the middle building is a fitness center, and the building to the left is a cafe. And I was so impressed when I went in there. It's got a really cool layout with tables and chairs, but also has sofas and coffee tables. And they had like fresh bread that you can purchase, and pastries, sandwiches, all kinds of good things to eat. So I thought it was a really cool.
It reminds me a lot of Bexley.
I haven't been to Bexley.
Yeah, the hub there, and they've got their own cafe and center and all those other things too. And this is a little bit hard to see, y'all, but there's a baseball diamond right here. That's how awesome this neighborhood is. Tennis courts, pickleball courts, all the things here, man. Yeah. Another resort style pool, cabanas, grassy areas. This is awesome.
They usually have like fire pits. I'm sure they do there somewhere with sofas and stuff. grills, just, I mean, it is like living at a resort. Most homes in Parish and Lakewood Ranch are that way, most communities.
Lot of different areas here. This is great. And then here's the trail system there for those of you runners and bikers. This is one of the features that I love about all the new construction communities we have out here. These master plan communities have done a good job at least tying in, giving us that option where we don't have to go somewhere else to go running or go walking or whatever. You know, there's dog parks here too. So like,
yeah,
you know, these things are wonderful the way they're set up. And this one's right next to a school site too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Lakewood Ranch has, I believe it's 150 miles of trailways. So they can be for cycling or walking or running or, and then all the roads have bike lanes. So you'll see cyclists on the weekends riding through Lakewood Ranch in batches of 2 to 50. There's lots of clubs here and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And you got ranch nights on Wednesdays down at, Waterside. I mean, that's really cool. So this is great. Community parks, greenways and trails, tennis, bocce ball. That was one thing we missed: bocce ball, pickleball, cornhole, volleyball, aquatic center, bath. If you can't find something to do here, there's something wrong with you. A lot going on there.
I used to say I was afraid to move to Florida because I thought we would become old right away. Yep. But instead it is so active here. It's like you can find something to do every minute of the day. And it's just so fun living around people that are active and fun and looking for activities and adventures. Florida's a great place.
Yeah. The last 2 gyms I've been in these communities, y'all, they rivaled like Crunch Fitness. That's how much equipment was in there.
Yeah.
You know, barbells, the whole thing, man. I was really, really impressed. So this is great, Marcia. Thank you. Where else were we headed?
You're welcome. There's that on the right, that athletic performance center that I went into, and they offer classes, and they said teams will come there and train. It's a really cool building.
Yeah.
Sweetwater is next, and that's right up the road from Star Farms, and the builder in there is MI Homes. They also have some great floor plans. They have a spring series that has 3-car garages, and then they have another series that has 2-car garages. So, and they're gonna have 502 homes in Sweetwater. And I forgot to say, in Star Farms, they're gonna have like 1,500 homes. So it's a very large community.
Big community. So this is Sweetwater.
Yeah. It's very cool too, that their amenity center is amazing. It's just beautiful. So in their incentives right now for inventory is $10,000 in flex cash. And they've marked down the prices of the homes quite significantly by some of them are like $70,000 marked down. So one, just for instance, Jackson model, it was originally $839,680, and now it's $749,999. That's a huge difference.
So, Marcia, the prices in MI, are they plus lot premiums and design center fees, or are these pretty close? Are they similar like D.R. Horton, where they're giving out the door pricing?
Well, it depends. If they're already built, then they're giving out the door. So you got to look and see if they're inventory homes, or if you're going to build them, then they're only giving you the price of the shell of the home. It's not the lot. It's not the cabinets. It's nothing. Yeah. So, I think that's one reason people should use realtors in Florida. I was in real estate in Georgia, but I didn't know, moving from there, how they price things here. So when you're looking at a community and it says starting at 400, that is just the shell of the house. That you're not talking about your lot or your pool or anything in the house. So it really significantly changes that price tag. So it's really important, to have some help knowing what all that means.
Yep.
The answer to your question is, it depends on if it's inventory or to be built. And usually it will list it out that way, that it's an inventory house, or they might call it move-in ready. That's another way they say it.
Move-in ready and inventoried are the 2 terms that you'll hear a lot of. Sorry for the moving around the the website here so quickly. Oh, here we go. Quick move in. So this is like the code word for stuff that's ready to go now that is on sale. So we were in the right spot there, Marcia.
Yeah, and they have villas and single family in Sweetwater too.
Yep.
But Beverly, the sales rep I work with there, told me that they're offering right now free impact windows and sliders. This is for if you build.
Oh,
so
yeah.
one of the incentives is free impact windows and sliders, which is a significant expense.
Mm-hmm.
Normally with the home, you're going to get the shutters that you put up, which are not hard to do. But I do recommend for older people, the impact windows would be very helpful. Or if you don't live in Florida, a lot of times your neighbors will help you put up the shutters, or you can hire people, but people that are doing that become super busy, and they sometimes can't get everyone's home done. So, in the two scenarios, if you can't do it yourself, or if you don't live here, that's something I would strongly suggest you look into.
Yep. And lean on your neighbors, y'all. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Like we are very communal here. I'll tell you what, people pull together really fast when storms starting to threaten. Like it's crazy, man. You show up to Home Depot and people with trucks are helping each other. Like it's really cool, but you do have to have a plan in place, right? So like that's the big thing.
I would say most time we have time. Like when they say a hurricane's coming, you usually have a few days.
Absolutely.
And, you can tell, you'll know if everybody's decided they're putting on their shutters, and like Juan said, everybody just starts helping each other. But if you can't do it like physically, or you're not here, it would be difficult. Like if you couldn't get a hold of a neighbor, or, they run out of time, there can be instances that you'd be glad you had those windows.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So MI Homes is offering the free impact windows and sliders. They're offering $25,000 to $35,000 credit toward the design center, and $15,000 towards closing costs.
If you build,
not the move-in ready.
Yep.
Okay. So that's a lot of incentives. That's really good. Lastly is Azario. I love this neighborhood. It's like a resort. I mean, the most like a resort of all the communities. Not only do they have gorgeous golf course areas, and you can decide when you build there if you're going to be in a golf course home or not. And what I mean by that is not if you're looking at the golf course, but if you're going to play golf. So you have the option of be included to be in the golf club or not.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have single family and villas, but their amenities, you've been there, Juan, they have a hair salon, a nail salon. They have a spa where you can get massages. They have all the normal pickleball and tennis, and they're building a culinary building that is going to offer, you can take classes there. There'll be a restaurant in there, and I'm quite sure you can rent it out for events like weddings and stuff. It's incredible. It's just beautiful. So what they're offering right now for incentives at Azario is for if you're paying cash, they offer $10,000 towards closing costs, and if you are financing, they offer $20,000 towards closing costs. And they're having a special right now on their Lazio floor plan, whether it's in a golf community or not. They're offering $35,000 in closing costs as an incentive.
And that's Taylor Morrison, right, Marcia?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you're moving along pretty good there. Yeah, Taylor Morrison. Taylor Morrison is one of the builders, y'all, that you again, you need to be aware of the cost. The prices that you typically see are the starting at prices. There are lot premiums and design center fees that come along with that. So just be mindful of that, right? So like you see up here, half off options up to $40,000 when you purchase a twin villa. Offer available. They just show you those details. And again, the interest rates below prime rates are what people are really taking advantage of right now, and closing costs. So this is good. This is great info to be sharing, Marcia. This is a awesome community, y'all. I've been there. it's designed to do what it does.
Yeah.
It's the best way I can put it. Like, it gives you all the feels. You're like, okay, I get it, right? Like, yeah, I understand why everybody wants to live here. It's beautiful. Makes
Yeah.
all the sense.
And something I should probably mention is the HOA fees are between $300 and $500, depending on if you're in a villa or a single family. And then I don't have all the prices for the golf, but to buy a lot to build a house, I believe it's 100,000 more if you're in the golf. So if you want to build a Lazio in the golf community, it's going to be 100,000 more.
Here's the culinary. Look at this, man. This is awesome. Cafe, outdoor bar right at the resort there. You got the tiki bar. I mean, this.
Yeah, and they have a cafe like that has ice cream, or I think gelato and coffee and stuff. That's in the spa. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. This is like, it's designed to keep you in.
You don't have to leave.
Well, that's the best way I could explain that, right? They're like, once you come, you ain't leaving. It's like, nice try. Pickleball courts, tennis courts, dog parks, all the things, man. And of course, the golf, which is beautiful. Lots of other amenities there to choose from. It's a great community.
I just wanted to add, Brian had asked about living near his friends in Parrish, which you can do, but these 3 communities that we just talked about are on the north end of Lakewood Ranch. And I would say might take 15 minutes to drive up to where your friends are in Parrish.
Yeah, really close.
Probably be a lot closer for you to get to Sarasota for work. So, it's just an option for you.
25 minutes, depending on where you work in Sarasota, of course, but somewhere between 20 and 35 minutes max.
Yeah.
Just depends on where you are in Sarasota, of course. So great question. Great questions, guys. You're rocking it. Let me go back, catch up to where we were on all the questions and the comments. If you're joining us late, welcome to Tampa Talk Live. We have been chopping it up with great questions this evening from the viewers, and really diving into some communities down in Lakewood Ranch and just discussing what's going on there. All right. So Michael V says, do you guys have any connections with recruiters? I'm in pharmaceutical sales and been trying to land a spot down there. We helped a family last year who's in a pharmaceutical. Let me reach out. Michael, send me an email. All right. Send me an email and let me send that to my community. My email's in the description below. All right. No, let me put it in the chat. Make your life easier.
I can't think of any recruiters I know. I'll have to think.
All right. My email is in the chat, Michael. Send me an email, and then I'll send that out to our community and see what we can track down for you. Okay, buddy? Because I don't know anybody personally outside of her. She's not a recruiter, but she works for one of the large pharmaceutical sales companies. So we can help with that. Jonathan says, Largo, Florida has been good to me. Can't complain, fellow beach baby. My man. We're going to have to meet up and have a cocktail or a beer or a cup of coffee at some point, Jonathan, because you've been hanging out. I know you're close, man. I don't know where you're at, but I know you're close. We're in, I'm not allowed to say, my wife will get mad. Never mind. But we're in Largo. We're close. Okay. Adam says, I've heard a lot of that being far more active in Florida than prior locations. It does, man. Like, you want to be outside, especially if you're from, an area where your weather hasn't been amazing. It's definitely something that, you just get pulled outside, and it really does give you an opportunity to be really active. So,
yeah, I think it's the weather and the accessibility to, pickleball and, swimming pools and bike lanes and the beach. You have more reasons to be active, and it's easy to be active. So
I agree. Marcia, this one's for you.
What does Marcia like better, Madeira Beach or Indian Rocks? Ooh. I like Indian Rocks for like walks and more of a quiet spot. We like Madeira Beach because I don't remember the name of it, but there's like a cafe or, some type of restaurant right there on the beach, and you can rent chairs and umbrellas right there. So you don't have to haul it all. They bring it right out to you, and then you can go get whatever you want to eat or drink. So I love that. In Treasure Island, I've never been to their beach other than like to the area where you shop and eat. I've never actually laid on the beach there. So
yeah, that's for the tourist, Jackson. we leave the Treasure Island beach. No, I'm kidding. There's locals that are there too, but it definitely leans more tourist than
that's what I would say. Yeah. But Indian Rocks, we love. Like I said, I like going for walks, and it's just a quieter beach.
Shh, Marsha.
Sorry.
Don't ruin it. Just kidding. It's beautiful. We love it. Absolutely. Great question. Great question, Jackson. All right. Paul says, thanks again. How did you find the plumbing company you use, and why do you go with them? Listen, what is going on with the plumbing? That's what I want to know. Paul is like he is concerned. He's concerned.
No, I think he is a plumber. I think he's asked us questions before about starting a plumbing company here.
Yeah.
I believe.
Great question, Paul. I looked up plumbers, made phone calls, but ultimately ended up getting a referral, just like my mechanic, just like my lawn guy. It's been word of mouth with everyone that we've ended up hiring. And we've been blessed with great experiences that way. So I think I've shared this before. If you do good work in Florida, you will be rewarded. This is very much a word of mouth. If you take good care of us, we'll share you around, because people are happy to do it. Because there's been there are people that unfortunately just don't do a great job, and they get found out quickly. So great question, man. Great question. And
I think word of mouth travels quick here too, Juan, because like in our neighborhood, if somebody uses a contractor for something and they like them, they post it on our Facebook page and say, we had this problem and the plumber came. They were very professional. They, didn't overcharge me. I felt like they did a good job, and then they put all their information there. So they advertise for you.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Michael, you're welcome. He said, thank you for the email contact. You're welcome anytime. And listen, y'all, we always try to make the connections. We have been very fortunate. I mean, we've spoke to over 300, I think we're like 350 people now through Zoom alone over the last 3 years because of YouTube. So we have met a lot of wonderful people that do a lot of different things here. And I'm not the matchmaker of jobs, but I'm most certainly willing to try to help people make a connection when it's appropriate. So that's the blessing of having a huge network, just like the questions we're getting about plumbing. So Paul, appreciate those questions too, man. And what I know is that those things are in demand, and if you do a good job, people will take care of you, like Marsha said. So thank you for the questions for sure. Brian says, how about Berry Bay south of Sun City? In case I work in Tampa, I saw some trailheads and parks there. Berry Bay.
Yeah, we've had, I've had a client buy in Berry Bay. It's in Waimama. So it's north of Parrish. It's quite a ways from the expressway. So I never timed it, getting from, actually the person that bought in there works in Sarasota. Yep. So I think it's closer to Sarasota than Tampa, but I don't know how long of a commute or where you're going to be in Tampa. So if you want, you can call me and we can talk about different options for you. But it's a nice area, but it's out in the country. Not a lot around it. But the community's pretty.
That's the big thing. There's not a lot of amenities out there, y'all. So just be careful of that area there. Apollo Beach, Sun City, like there's just not a lot of infrastructure around those communities yet. It's going to be a while, just so you guys know. So, and location wise, from a geographic perspective, that is the farthest drive times from Tampa or from Sarasota, when you're looking at the greater Tampa Bay area. So definitely worth checking out. Michael says, we hope to be house hunting with you guys in the near future. Well, we are here to serve, my man. So thank you for the vote of confidence there. I appreciate it. And jump over to these last few comments on Instagram as well before we shut down for the evening. And y'all, we love when you guys come in here and bring the questions. That's great. Nando says, we made it down We made it from downtown to Epperson in 35 minutes at 2:30 on a Wednesday afternoon. That's awesome. You had a really good time getting up to Epperson there. That's great, man. That's really good. It says it was an hour 20 from Wesley Chapel to North River Ranch, same afternoon. Lots of driving that day, and all your recommendations were spot on, most helpful, welcoming, and greatly appreciated. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks, Nando. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's amazing how the drive times can change dramatically depending on which direction you're heading and where you're headed to. So grateful to be able to connect with you guys. Marsha, you shared awesome stuff tonight.
Thank you.
Love it. Love when Marsha gets to share her shiny piece of sunshine down there in Lakewood Ranch and Parish. And Bradenton's awesome. It's a different vibe than Tampa and St. Pete, right? But it also has its own beauty. Like there's some beautiful things down there, right? When I go to Sarasota, I'm always like, it feels different. It feels more mature is the way I would put it. Right. And I don't mean from like
way of putting it, Juan.
Well, I wasn't going there, Marcia, but no, I know you feel like, but I mean, in general, like, you go to St. Armand Circle, it just feels a little bit more mature, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that Tampa is immature. It's probably a bad word, but like it's young, it's vibrant. Yeah. It's got a thing going on about it, right?
Vibe.
Yep.
And I agree. I mean, I like both. I love going to St. Pete and Tampa and Sarasota. I like all of them, but I think people choose where they're going to live, which is most comfortable for them.
Yep.
Like when I go to St. Pete and say, God, I'd love to live here. And then I start thinking, would I want to, not be able to park in my garage? I'd have to, it's just, like I said, start thinking about all the things that come with where you live and then decide.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
So I decide for the mature things.
Refined. We'll call it refined, Marsha. How about that?
That's better.
A little bit more refined. It was awesome. Well, y'all, it was great spending time with you this evening. We always appreciate it. The last video we shared last week was my top 5 suburbs. That's the video I shared. Oh, no, last week was the regrets people have moving to Florida. So I shared that video popped off, man. People are very interested.
It was great.
Yeah. I was really shocked at the response on that. I figured it would be a hit, but I didn't know people were that interested in it. And like I shared with you guys earlier, listen, y'all, I'll tell you what I can tell you. I got some things I can't say, but I grew up in an area where things were tough. And I get to live in an area where things aren't like that now. But it's not perfect. We always tell everything and I know people are like, don't tell people that. You're like, aren't you trying to convince people? No, I'm not trying to convince people of anything, right? We're here to be a guide. If your dream is to never have to shovel sunshine or, we that's what I say. We don't have to shovel sunshine, right? Like if your dream is to live by the coast and enjoy, what the coast has to offer and, salty air and, abundant sunshine, then this is the place to come do it, man. Like this is a great community. The greater Tampa Bay area is laid back. It's got a whole vibe to it. I say that word all the time, but I mean it. Like it feels good. It feels like a great warm hug with the sunshine splashing down your face, man. Does life happen here? Absolutely it does. It's not perfect. But man, if you're going to have life happen to you, why not let it happen to you in a place where you love, right? That's what I always say. So come on down. The water is warm, the weather is warm, and we absolutely love where we live, y'all. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us this evening. I appreciate it. We got shout outs that you got it, Marsha. Thanks for all the great info. Adam's laughing at Brian. Their conversation. FYI, I text you Thursday night. Will be the latest. Nice. All right, I'm in. I'm in. This is a whole thing going on with me and Adam right now. Salty roads and potholes. Brother, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the salty roads. And we were getting into this today. Like before we left Michigan, we bent a rim, like literally on the way out. I'm like, enough of this nonsense, right? enough of this nonsense. And Marcia, every time we go back, like as soon as you cross over the Ohio border on the Michigan roads, and I know we're talking about Tampa, but like as soon as you cross over those roads, it is just nonstop. Your car is jumping, bouncing. And
yeah.
like, I'm all set with this.
They can't keep up with it. It's just the weather.
It's crazy town. So
yeah,
y'all, Tampa's not like that. It's beautiful. Come join us down here. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. If you're watching this later, feel free to reach out and connect. Again, all of our contact information will be down below. Phone numbers on the screen, websites on the screen. You guys can connect with us there. Go hook up with Marcia on Instagram. Go connect with her there. Marcia Railton. I'm sorry, at Marcia Railton. And mine is at juan.alcala.realtor. So you can find us there. Until next time, y'all, go out, live that Tampa life. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.